the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Apologies everyone, I think we may have had some audio issues there, you might not have heard us. We've just started race 1 then of the BSR MX5 Winter Series, final round of the championship. Jason Cooper, championship leader, leads the way up the hill. And Tom, this is going to be a bit of a chaotic first lap as the guys try and find their rhythm.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? As we come towards turn 1 then, Cooper leads, Cherney behind him, but Panion's trying to go around the outside of Ashton now. Can he get it done? Ashton's still on the inside line, but Cooper's having to defend really hard now from Cherney as they come up the hill. And this is always a tricky section to get right in a GT car. As we see, that's Ashton round. And that's not what he wanted for the start. Does so finally to get himself on the brakes and hold the car. And no one else seemed to get caught up in it. But not sure what happened there. Chaz, did you catch a glimpse of it?
I think he just got turned, you know, just two guys going for one corner a bit too close, and that was that. But they got lucky that they didn't block the track there and cause a bigger incident. Just to recap, for anyone that's just joined us, I believe you might not have heard us go through it before, but Jason Cooper leads the championship from Adam McNally. He's 349 points ahead. Nick McCarron is third on 378 points further down. The top am is Roy Viverke for Auto Mech Hill. Jeroen Ursum is second, 177 points back. Scott Malcolm is third, but he's 508 points down on Viverke, so it looks like Viverke's got this sorted, but Jeroen Ursum's going to be out there to try and put up a fight tonight. Excite Energy iRacing team are top of the teams championships at the moment. They are 260 points ahead of Swift Cooper Esports. SimLab Racing are just 35 points back from them, so it's all close between those guys. Tonight is going to be the deciding round, but Swift Cooper Esports at the moment, Tom, doing what they did last week at Sebring, and Cooper and Cherney running away with it at the moment.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? And that's what they would have wanted to get that gap over the Excite boys, as they're obviously their main rivals. I'm sure we'll see SimLab coming up as well, but McNally's on the outside as they come down towards the hill then. Panion, he's on the outside, but a little bit too far back, but Brian Holmes goes around the outside of Adam McNally, and what a brilliant move on his teammate there. Just absolutely anticipated the braking point, and when, forget that, I'm just going to go as late as I possibly can, and got the move stuck. So brilliant move from Brian Holmes, and he's on an absolute charge, isn't he, Chaz? He's now right up the rear bumper of Marcelo Panion.
Yeah, and that's not the picture that McNally would have wanted painted for him by Brian Holmes. And if I'm honest, it's not going to help his championship hopes very much. But Holmes is probably just going to be sent forward like the missile that he is to go and attack Marcelo Panion and his teammates further up. Looking further down the order, we've once again got Excite Energy Esports cars that are just clumping together in the mid-pack. McRitchie's still leading the AM category. He was the fastest qualifier in that category as well. He's gained 2 places up to 13th at the moment. Side by side in the background there between Stevens and Hampson. Dave Hampson really showing how quick he is this season. Tom, he's just sort of come out of nowhere, and we say it every week, but he has been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been, and he's always been thereabouts with the front runners. I think he really is one to watch for next season, and I think he could come out fighting. He's really, for his team at least, he's really just showing what can be done here, and you can come into a series and just set the world alight. So yeah, good on him. I think he really is, as I say, one to watch in a few races time, or next season even. This is the final race of the season this evening, as they come down the hill once more. As we look there at Lorne Murray for Auto Mech Not Kill, currently running behind Ryan Walker, and he's going to be trying putting Walker under as much pressure as he can. And just like you said, Chaz, all the Excite cars clumping together, and really working together as well. As we look a bit further back, thank you. Oh, we've got one of the Cooper boys out on the grass as well. And I think this track, Chaz, can produce some really good racing at times, but it is a really tricky one to get right, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're hot lapping around here. You're only against yourself, and your only enemies are the walls, really. You're not sort of chasing the guy in front. I do find it's difficult to follow anyone around here as well if you're in a close battle like these guys will be. And speaking of following someone closely, Dave Hampson right on the back of Stevens now as they go down into the chase. You can definitely tell when you're on board with Kip Stevens though, that bright pink roll cage and car interior. Hampson just holding it back. They're just going to sort of follow each other around here, I think, Tom, and we're going to say that fabled word that we always say each week, so get your shot glasses out. It's time for us to say slipstream, because coming into the chase there on the last lap, you want to be in a position where you're just going to make the move. I mean, Hampson there makes it past Stevens coming into the final corner. McNally a little bit wide in front, but you could see Stevens just got out of that there. He knew there's no point defending it too hard because they want to stay together going forward. Jamie Ayres has got an issue actually. Further down the order, he's dropping a couple of places. He was off the track. I think he's back on now. Not a great evening so far for the SimLab driver. We saw some of his teammates in the middle of the pack there, and they were having a good old scrap. Richard Gafenko, who's getting his elbows out tonight. Great to see Richard out on track. But looks like there's a bit of an issue for Taylor Lane at the back of the field as well for Beast Racing. Mick Barry's involved. I think Mick Barry's involved. Jeroen Ursum, no, he's in the championship hunt for the AM class as well, Tom. So it's not going great for them. Cesare Rizzo has actually joined the SimLab team for this final round, and I believe going forward. So good to see nice green highlights on that livery. Makes it stand out a nice little bit, actually, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's always a good-looking car. We saw it last season when they were running under a different guise. But yeah, the SimLab cars always do stand out. But yeah, I've got to say it. Cesare Rizzo now really taking the fight to change at Ritchie. But Ritchie, I think, is going to end up with a little blue logo next to his name, a little blue box to say he's a pro next season. To be honest, he's done exceptionally well in AM so far. But as they come up the hill, Cesare Rizzo all over the back of him, and pretty much pushing him along as they come to one of the trickiest sections, I believe, in motorsport. Over the crest they come. The car will go quite light as you go over that crest, and then load up the suspension again as they dive down hard on the brakes while turning. This is always tricky to get right, down into the right-hander, and then a lot slower over the kink there as they come through towards the last and final straight. And as you said, Chaz, get your shot glasses ready. This is where slipstream is going to come into play, because you really want to get that move done before the final chicane and final corner, because between that chicane and the last corner isn't really much of a run, is it?
No, definitely not. You've got to get it done on the brakes as soon as you can. Obviously trying to get it into the chase down here as they go now. But you can see these Swift Cooper Esports cars aren't getting away that much. And while Panion is closing on them, Holmes is as well. And that means that Adam McNally is going to be involved in this as well. He needs to get in there for the championship fight, though. It's his time to try and shine here. Dave Hampson's not going to be doing him any favours, though. But the Swift Cooper Esports boys doing a great job up front so far. They did this last week, and they're just absolutely nailing it once again, Tom. Their teamwork this season has been really, really good.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. I think they've had the slight edge over Excite this season, but then again, Excite have also put in some brilliant jobs. But as you say, in terms of teamwork, I think Swift Cooper Esports are the ones to beat at the moment. The team management has been exceptional, and all their drivers getting together and working together as they need to has been absolutely fantastic. As they go back up the hill then on the long straight, and you can just see the clump of cars at the front. What a brilliant shot that is as they descend back down the hill slightly. Cherney on the outside, Cooper on the inside. Is Cooper going to take the move? Yes, he does in the slipstream, and just darts into first place once again. Cherney following him through. He's got Marcelo Pagnon and Brian Holmes there for company. But at the moment, Chaz, it seems to be a bit of a Swift Cooper Esports whitewash, and the only one who can really take it back from them is Brian Holmes and Adam McNally.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to put up a fight, and it's going to be great to see them have a go up here, especially at Bathurst. It's a hell of a track. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. You can see the track map there, just how the field is sort of spread out. Some of the AM drivers a bit further down in the order. Billy Rose is the car lit up there with number 35, the blue one on the right-hand side of your screen. But this battle for the lead, Tom, is really good, but as we've seen Nico Rosberg do a lot before for Lewis Hamilton, Marcelo Pagnon's playing the rear gunner at the moment as these Excite Energy boys come and throw their dazzling driving skills at him.
Yeah, I'm expecting in a minute for Marcelo Pagnon to get Marcelo, it's James, come over the team radio to try and back up the Excite boys. But yeah, they're doing everything they need to at the moment, aren't they? They're biding their time. They know that the Excite guys are really quick round here. You know, Brian Holmes and Alan McNally, some of the fastest guys out there currently. And let's not discount Mr. Dave Hampson as well in the 888. We know how quick he can be. But as they come down the hill once again, here we see the big slipstream coming on. Pagnon tucked in behind Cherney, and Cherney doing everything he needs to, giving Pagnon a tow. But Pagnon doesn't appear to be having any of it, does he? The gloves are off at the moment, and Pagnon's going to try and go up the inside of Cooper as well, and Pagnon round the outside, and look at that, through the middle goes Cherney, and he holds the position, but Brian Cooper's in there as well, sorry, Brian Holmes is in there as well, and he makes the move stick. So the one who fell out and lost out on that one, Chaz, was Jason Cooper. He was down 3 places in one corner.
And he's in then there with his title rival now, Adam McNally, nearly making contact. McNally mounts the curb. This is literally the last thing that Cooper wanted. He wanted a nice easy ride at the front without Adam McNally having to go at him, but now they're right together on track. Marcelo Pagnon to the front though. I wouldn't be surprised for him to try and drive away and take the win here, but get your shot glasses out. The slipstream's going to stop him. And look there, Tom, behind Adam McNally, it's the old Joker himself, Swift Cooper Esports driver Kip Stevens.
Yeah, there he is. We know that Stevens is quick as well, but this pack seems to have broken away a little bit. And one of Chaz's favourite sayings, this is going to turn into blokes racing this, as they come down into turn 2, back up towards the hill. Brian Holmes then having to defend hard from Alex Cherney. And what a brilliant battle this is, as we see Marcelo Pagnon did disappear there for a second, I think, but he's back now. Brian Holmes on the inside, still looking at Pagnon, and he's still having to defend from Cherney as well. There's some brilliant camera work going on. Thank you, Alex, for that. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's just shaping up to be a really brilliant race, this. I mean, we're 11 minutes in already, and it's just absolutely flown by, isn't it, Chaz?
Yeah, that's how it always goes in these evenings. It's a good thing we get 4 races, to be fair. Fantastic shot on board here now of Alex Cherney. Just shows you how narrow this track is and how little forgiveness you get from the walls. Look how close they get to this inside wall on that curve. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Into Skyline, one of the scariest corners on earth. You can forget the corkscrew, because the corkscrew, you've got plenty of time to slow down for it. Skyline is just horrible. Into the dipper, literally on 2 wheels down there. And then they go down the left and the right, and then into Forest Elbow. Braking zone here is really horrible because the car's trying to rotate right, and then you want it to go left afterwards. You can see the understeer from Cherney. Get on the throttle, don't let it wash out wide and hit the wall, and then you've got your foot planted to try and get that slipstream from the car in front. But Holmes and Pagnon got a great run out of there, Tom, and now I wouldn't be surprised if Cherney's got his teammate Jason Cooper coming up behind him very, very quickly.
Yeah, he will have, won't he? It was surprising how quickly Holmes and Pagnon did get away there, but Holmes does dart out to the right then, and it looks like he's got past Pagnon now in the slipstream, and he has made it stick. Is Pagnon going to go late on the brakes? No, he doesn't. But Cherney did brake very late there, didn't he, and close the gap back up to Pagnon and Holmes. But like you say, Chaz, he has got Cooper behind him, but Cooper's got Adam McNally, his championship rival. This is Vettel and Hamilton all over again, isn't it? But just in MX5s as they come to start lap number 6. And Holmes crosses the line in P1. Behind him, Marcelo Pagnon, Alex Cherney in 3rd, Jason Cooper in 4th, Adam McNally in 5th, Kip Stevens there for company for Swift Cooper Esports also in 6th, and then Dave Hampson in 7th. So what a brilliant clump of top class drivers we've got here. And I think this really is anyone's guess at the moment, Chaz, as we look at one of the guys down the back of the field, Jeroen Ursum in the number 51 car. He's also fighting for the AM Championship at the moment, Chaz, so he's not going to be very happy running around in 31st.
No, unfortunately, Roy Visser in the chat has actually asked for us to call out his position. He's not having the best of races tonight, unfortunately, Roy. Down into 31st, I think he had a bit of an issue early on. He's lost quite a couple of positions. But in terms of the 1, 2, 3 drivers in the AM class, as I'm being requested to speak about, Roy Viverke currently is leading the championship. Jeroen Ursum 2nd, Scott Malcolm 3rd. That means that Roy Viverke is actually down in 28th as well. Scott Malcolm is, I don't think he's actually on track tonight, you know, Tom. I can't see him anywhere.
We've got a big accident in the background.
Carl Hardy, he's in there as well. But Roy Viverke, and in the background. Yep, I don't know who that was that didn't quite get through there. It was one of the newer guys, because it was a livery that I'd not seen before. So it's Rob Graham and Luke Cooper, they come together. Mikey Key tries to get out of it, just goes in the back. Carl Hardy with the big, look at that loss there on the grass. Viverke does well. Carl Hardy, massive shunt there, and I don't know what Rob Graham was doing there, but he decided that he wasn't too happy with Luke Cooper after that one. I'm not sure what happened, but it's a clip for the wall there for Alex Cherney. Decides that wall's not blue enough. He's going to put some more blue paint or vinyl on it. But these boys really need Kip Stevens to help them out here, as Brian Holmes leads them down the chase once again. I think if Kip Stevens could just sort of distract Adam McNally by throwing memes at him, he probably would do just that. But he's not going to do it from that far back. But hopefully Holmes can put up enough of a fight here to keep all the other boys behind in the game. But Benjamin Mears as well, he's actually leading in the 13 car, 13th place. He's leading the AM category in this race, doing a great job as always. His next competitor is Carl Jacquelet in 19th. You can actually see that on the timing tower on the left-hand side of the screen, which designates the drivers as pros in blue and AMs in green. And we're already coming to the end of the race. Holmes around the outside of Pagnon, trying to get it done. Cherney's going to try and get a good run at him here. Pagnon takes the win. Cherney grabs 2nd from Holmes. Cooper is 4th. McNally finishes 5th ahead of Stevens and Hampson. Look, the end of that race just came around before we even knew it, Thomas. There's Ashton making a bit of a line in the grass.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It's always exciting to watch them. Nick McCarron coming along the line with Steve Hefford and Ashley Beard for company as well for 16th, 17th and 18th. What a brilliant race that was. The guys at the front really showing that it's another track and car combo that does really work. As we see Mikey Key, doing acrobatics. He's doing aerobatic manoeuvres down the hill. But yeah, it just goes to show that it's one of those tracks that I thought, MX5s at Bathurst, maybe, but it really has proved itself to be one of the better tracks out there, Chaz.
Yeah, it really has. We've seen a lot of tracks this season from this championship that have been unorthodox combinations, but really, really worked out well. And I mean, you can see by the racing, just seen in that one there by the guys at the front, that was wonderful to watch. Really close stuff. But there is your race winner then, Marcelo Panion, started 4th on the grid. Does a great job for Swift Cooper Esports, a great signing for those guys. Partway through the season, they saw just how quick he was and snapped him up before anyone else could. Done a fine job with him. Dave Hampson, though, he's been a good driver for me this season. Really, really chuffed with how he's been getting on. But it'd be interesting to check now, Tom, how the championship standings look after that one, because Jason Cooper was 349 points ahead. Now, I'm just having a quick look at how many points you'd get for a win. So you get 100 points for a win. So basically, I think, based on that, obviously with no any drop scores could be considered, that would make Jason Cooper the champion, because surely he finished ahead of McNally, so the gap will not have got any smaller. So based on my calculations, which are probably wrong, I'd say Jason Cooper is your Winter Series champion, so well done to Jason. And I believe also that the fight for the AM category is still to play for, so we've got that to look forward to, as there's a very damaged car in front of these guys now as they filter back. But yeah, great first race, really, really good fun to watch as always. What do you reckon to that one, Alex? It was alright, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Sorry for the burst out laugh in there, but it had to be done, so. But yeah, no, good. I think this is a perfect little track and car combo, so the driver's got full commitment. Here we go.
Here you go. Here they go. We told some of them to do it last week, me and Marco did. Billy Rose has promised to do it by the end of the broadcast. And here they go.
Oh, there's the sports.
I'm amazed Kip Stevens didn't do it. Oh, there's Ryan Walker. Oh, and in comes Lorne Murray. Yeah, it's a good thing these are virtual cars and they do. Oh, Joe McDonald, they've always gone over. Billy Rose, is he going to do it? Me and Marco told him last week that he's got to do it at least at the end of the broadcast. Hopefully he sees the clouds of smoke down the hill and invests his time in just going straight. He's not. Oh no, go on, Billy.
Billy, you disappoint us.
Billy Rose.
Get out.
Well, he's got three. He's got 3 more chances to do it tonight. So I'll have a word with him between races. He's probably in the interview room still from last week. He tends to hang around in there while it's going on. But really good entertainment from the boys there. Great to see. It's just got to have a laugh, haven't you, at the end of the day? It's the final round of the season. That'll be everyone's excuse.
We're waiting to cross the start-finish line. There's still one person. I can't bring the standards up.
It's Ainsworth. Look at the amount of lock he's got on. It won't go round. It's cocking a wheel. That's not in a great condition, that. Go on, son.
Can I just say quickly, guys, when we do the spinny wheel, your own Ursum, our resident spinny wheel expert, has just said 30 on the wheel. So let's see if Alex can make that come true.
Let's see how many I read. Oh, well, there's Anthony Straightline, and that's going to, yeah. Brilliant stuff, Anthony Ainsworth there. Finishes out the first race, and we should have the results on screen, Tom, if you will do the honours.
Yeah, so Marcelo Panion takes the win for Swift Cooper Esports. It's a 1-2 from them. With Alex Cherney in P2, Brian Holmes comes home in P3, and then Jason Cooper in P4. His championship rival, Alan McNally, in P5, which believers we think that it makes Jason Cooper the champion, so well done to him. Kip Stevens finishes 6th, Dave Hampson behind him in 7th, Ryan Walker in 8th, Adam Delmont in 9th, and Pete Van Gaal in 10th. Jack Asher in 11th, and then Benjamin Mears in 12th, who's your AM race winner. Lorne Murray 13th, Cesare Rizzo 14th, 15th was Max Wright, 16th Ashley Beard, Nick McCarron was 17th, Steve Hefford was 18th, 19th Alan McCain, Carl Jackalette in 20th. 21st was Joe McDonald. 22nd, Richard Gafencu. Jamie Ayres was 23rd. He'll be looking to have a few more better races in the coming rounds. 24th, Roy Ververke. 25th, Craig Jones. Billy Rose was 26th. Your own Ursum 27th for all the fans of your own out there. 27th, he finished in the end. Luke Cooper in 28th. Rob Graham 29th. Mikey Key in 30th. Carl Hardy in 31st. Anthony Ainsworth in 32nd. Then your non-finishers: James McRitchie, David Ayres, Michael Barry, Ralph Cullinan, Taylor Lane, and Louis Morga. And can I just say, guys, with McRitchie failing to finish, what does that do for the AM Championship? That could shape it up quite a little bit.
It's Roy Ververke and your own Ursum, to be fair, at the moment, that are the guys in the shout of it. McRitchie made his way up, but only got to 9th in the end, it seems. It's going to be a real fight for your own Ursum to try and get there. We will keep an eye on the points and see whether they're updated between races. We'll give you an update on that when we get to race 2. Any second now, though, Mr. Simpson should have the wheel of bribery, reverse grid, to determine the grid for the second race.
Yeah, indeed I have. Here we go. Straight into it. Give it a spin. Who's going to get that pole? It's a pretty small spin. Going to be 30th, I think. I don't think it's going to reach 4 minus 2. No, it doesn't. 30th place it is.
Okay, so that would mean then that Mikey Key is on pole position with Rob Graham and Luke Cooper with your own Ursum 4th. And Billy Rose is going to be in 5th place. So really good bunch of guys at the front, and actually quite a couple of those guys that suffered from that incident earlier. So it's worked out quite nicely for them. And if you join me, Tom and Alex again on the iRacing Esports Network in about 10-15 minutes time, we'll bring you race 2 of 4 for the evening. Don't go away.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network, and welcome back to Bathurst for the second race of the evening in the BSR MX5 Winter Series. Chaz Draycott here with Tom Jacobs and Alex Simpson on the cameras. Tom, we saw a championship decided in the first race and some really close racing from the guys up front. Hopefully we'll get more of the same in this one.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Welcome back, everybody. Just quickly run through the grids. Mikey Key in P1, Rob Graham behind him in P2, and then Luke Cooper in third. Jeroen Ursum lines up fourth, Billy Rose, Craig Jones in sixth, Roy Viverke 7th, Jamie Ayres 8th, Richard Gafencu in 9th, Joe McDonald in 10th, 11th Carl Jacquelet, 12th Alan McCain, Steve Hefford in 13th, 14th Nick McCarron, 15th Ashley Beard, 16th Max Wright, 17th Cesare Rizzo, 18th Lorne Murray, and I believe we're about to go lights out and away we go. 5 red lights on and drop the clutch, and Mikey Key's had a very lonely start, hasn't he? And behind him Luke Cooper, Jeroen Ursum in there as well, all heading down towards turn 1. But Mikey Key's going to have to make the most of this from that decent gap he's had to start off with. Doesn't look like Rob Graham, Steve Hefford or Kyle Hardy have started at all, so we'll have to see what caused that. But as we come down towards along the first straight, Chaz, it's Mikey Key leading, Luke Cooper behind him, and then Jeroen Ursum in P3.
Yep, Jeroen called the grid as well, and Billy Rose is there in 4th place, quite fittingly in the 444 machine. And Luke Cooper goes for the lead down the inside of Mikey Key. The pro driver makes it stick. Oh, he's got a bit of a slide on the exit though. Mikey Key fighting back because of the loss of momentum, and now Jeroen Ursum's getting involved. This is going to get really spicy as they go up to the cutting on the left-hander. Then Luke Cooper giving Mikey Key the minimum amount of room. Billy Rose flicks out to the right-hand side. Really close stuff between these boys. Oh, Luke Cooper tries to get his nose down the inside, hits the curb, nearly goes into the wall. And behind them you can see they're all backing up now. Jamie Ayres is in there. I believe that was Craig Jones. And there's Richard Gafencu as well. Keep an eye on Richard, he's always been pretty quick, and he's trying his hand at the MX5 at the moment. But once again, Tom, the train makes its way down the hill. Oh, Billy Rose clips the wall in McPhillamy Park. I don't know how much he got away with, but hopefully it doesn't damage the car too much. But you've just got to be so careful around here, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, and that was quite a hard hit for Billy Rose to have as well. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage, but that did look like a suspension breaker. Oh, as Mikey Key does exactly the same, and that's really hurt the car. So Luke Cooper then takes the lead. It looks like Mikey Key's got a broken wishbone or something.
Oh, he's going to have a broken something else if someone hits him.
One of the wheels is pointing straight, the other one isn't. So that's unfortunate for him there. As Taylor Lane comes around to round up the pack. But there we go then, Luke Cooper leads, Jeroen Ursum behind him, and then Jamie Ayres is currently up the inside of him, and then Billy Rose, Chaz, in P4 at the moment. So, but I think this is going to come down to a fight between Jamie Ayres and Luke Cooper.
Yeah, it definitely will do. Two veterans of this series, two very, very quick Mazda MX5 drivers. Jamie Ayres has been on the pace pretty much all season, but not seen much of him in the last week or so. I'll say week or so, it's been a week since the last round, you know what I mean, last couple of weeks. He's going for it though, and it's going to be a good scrap, like you say, between the number 4 and the number 6. He's just got to chase him down, and I know that SimLab car is quite menacing to see in your rear view. It's a great big spread of drivers behind. You can just see on the left hand side the green little strips that you can see next to the drivers' positions. Designates that they're an AM driver. and then the pro drivers all behind them. These reverse grids often throw up the AMs near the front of the field, with the pros further down towards the back. You can see there at the top of the screen, thankfully brought up by Alex. Those little designations for you as Ayres goes to the lead. Excuse me, sorry boys.
You're right there, Chaz. I think we just nearly lost you. But,
yeah, no, I just started choking on my own breath, and I do apologise. Jamie Ayres goes to the lead then, Tom. Jeroen Ursum wants to get stuck in on this though. He's leading the AM category at the moment, so he's just got to be careful not to throw it away.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? He's got Verke down there in P5, Craig Jones behind him, Joe McDonald and Carl Jacquelet as well, who aren't far behind Jeroen Ursum at the moment. Ursum, our resident spinny wheel caller, and as Joe McDonald was saying in the chat, 99% of the time he does get it right, and we promise you it is not rigged. So it's just one of those quirks of him, isn't it? He absolutely loves the spinny wheel, and guesses it most of the time. But here we go then. Jamie Ayres has taken the lead from Luke Cooper. As you say, Chaz, Jeroen Ursum currently leading AM in P3. So if you're a fan of Jeroen, keep cheering because he's doing really well out there at the moment. Billy Rose in P4 for Northern Lights Racing, and it looks like Chaz didn't get too much damage after hitting the wall there, and I think he got away with it.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's carrying on, so it's good that it's not ruined his evening for him. Mikey Key, though, he had a nightmare, didn't he, with that? Real shame, but it's easy to do. You carry so much momentum down the hill. I mean, look at this train of cars. Once again, we've got Excite Energy Esports cars clumping together in the midfield and trying not to hit either each other or the wall, I suppose. As someone's clipped the wall there, I think that was Dave Hampson. He swings out to the right. Actually, no, it's Benjamin Mears, our AM winner from race 1, the Auto Mech Hill team. And he's going to have an issue down the straight there. It might have broken something, actually, Tom. It doesn't look like he's having much fun as they go down the straight. Brian Holmes is in there with his teammate Adam Delmont. They're closing quite quickly, and into the chase they go. Very, very fast bit of track there. It's really dangerous to sort of flick the MX5 in. It's not the stiffest of cars to set up as McNally down the inside of Stevens behind them.
Yeah, it's a tricky car to set up, I find. It's an easy car to set up, say, but very hard to master as the guys get really on two wheels coming round the last corner. But as you say, Chaz, the chase is a very scary part of the circuit, and you get it wrong and you're going to be in the grass and it upsets your momentum, and having a spin there in VR I think is probably an absolute nightmare as Gafencu goes up the inside of Roy Verke. And Gafencu having a brilliant race out there at the moment, isn't he? He's now got to chase down Billy Rose in the 444 for Northern Lights Racing, but Mr. Jeroen Ursum also holding his own in P3 still. So Jamie Ayres still leading from Luke Cooper, and Jeroen Ursum behind them, and then Billy Rose and Richard Gafencu as the guys come down the hill. Then see Ryan Walker weaving this way and that way in the background, trying to get past Dave Hampson. I think he's going to get it done this time though. Hampson's still holding his own. But I've got to say, Chaz, all the cars very clumped together, and I think if we have one of them have an accident as they go up towards the hill, it could be absolutely monumental.
Yeah, there's a lot of too wide there into the cutting. It's not somewhere I'd like to be. I think I'd probably just put it in the wall myself just to avoid an incident with somebody else. They start to filter through then as they go up the hill. And as they are saying in the chat, it is the Ursum train at the moment. This is a hell. Look at all that lot filtering through. Amazing stuff. There's Joe McDonald, Jeroen Ursum's teammate. The Excite boys there. There's 5 of them within 6 cars there, just to show how well they club together. There's the eSports Swift Cooper cars as well. Race 1 winner Marcelo Pagnon making his way. I think that is Mears going down the order still. Real shame for Benjamin that, because he was going well in race 1, did a great job. It's not lasted for him here. Anthony Ainsworth in the midfield there in the very bright green and purple car. It's not actually Ainsworth, I do apologise. That's Carl Jacquelet. Oh, 2 cars in front of him hit the wall. That was Craig Jones in the Result Clothing car. And Carl Jacquelet now is going to go flying past. That's going to have damaged the car quite a lot there of Craig Jones. It's not a very forgiving concrete wall, to be fair, from as concrete walls go, Tom.
No, it's not, and I've hit it many a time in a GT3 and GTE car around it. And no, it's not a forgiving wall at all, especially because you'll have so much momentum going into it as well. It just causes no end of damage to wishbones and suspension components, and can also probably make you go a bit down on power as well if you hit it at the right angle. So unfortunate for them as Gafencu still all over the back of Billy Rose. just in the corner of your shot there, going around the last corner. Billy Rose goes way out wide and hits the wall, and that's really upset his race there. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage. He's managed to keep it going. His plucky MX5 has been on all sorts of walls so far. That puts Richard Gafencu up into P4 as we look at the replay now. Coming down the hill then, Billy Rose defending from Richard Gafencu. Gafencu does a little bit of a dummy move by going to the outside. Billy Rose gets way too tight, puts it on two wheels, and that's all she wrote. She ended up in the wall. So unfortunate for Billy Rose. I'm sure he'll come back fighting, which he is doing. He's only down in P13, Chaz, and now he's fighting with Ashley Beard and Max Wright. So good on him for keeping the car going, and I'm sure he'll be fighting to push it up a bit more. But here we go then, Chaz. Your own Ursum currently sitting in P2 and leading AM, so he is having a fantastic race so far. Hopefully we don't give him the commentator's curse.
Yeah, fingers crossed for him. That'd be a bit of a pain if we did do that, but it's what happens when you're a commentator. You say someone's name, they have an accident. But yeah, he's doing a great job at the moment. He's overtaken Luke Cooper, like you say. It's not, no offence to the guy, but it's not something we expected him to do around Bathurst. It's a very, very difficult track to do, and to actually just get a move done no matter who it is always quite difficult. As they really flick it around there, you can see just how almost out of shape these cars are. They're right on the edge for the whole lap. But it's nice to see Jamie Ayres making a bit of a run for it at the moment, to be fair. He's doing a good job up front, getting away. At the moment the lead is nearly 4 seconds over Jeroen Ursum. And there he is. Part of the SimLab team. Previously the Momo team. They were very dominant in their previous seasons, but they've really had some tough competition this season, Tom, with Swift Cooper Esports and the Excite Energy Esports cars. Yeah, they have. They were all dominant last season, and they've come back for this one. And yeah, they've been thereabouts, haven't they? They've definitely been one of the teams to watch. They've been the Red Bull of the MX5 series. They've won a few races. But they just haven't quite had that edge, I feel, on Excite and Swift Cooper Esports this season, which I'm sure they'll be looking forward to coming back and causing more mayhem between those guys and splitting them apart. As Luke Cooper then all over the road behind Richard Gafencu trying to get that move done. He can't quite get it done though, and it looks to me, Chaz, like Luke Cooper looks like he's playing on an Xbox controller at the moment. Yeah, he's certainly chucking it about a bit. It's not the straightest thing in the world, is it? Oh, he's run wide there as well. He's nearly clipped the wall like Billy Rose did. Manages to gather it all together. Still in a fight with Carl Jacquelet now into turn 1. But it's not looking like the easiest of races for him, to be fair. As we see Richard Gafencu there out of turn 1. Look at that battle in the background though. Ashton and Hampson getting all involved as well. And there's just going to, I don't want to say it, but I think there's an incident pending here. Yeah, I think personally that's going to happen as well as we come down the hill. Dave Hampson in the middle, you've got Ashton in there as well. Everyone fighting, weaving this way and that way as we go into turn 1. Do they touch? I think they did, but Hampson still makes it stick. If there wasn't, there was only a gnat's whisker between them, and they managed to make it stick and go through there, Chaz, and that's unbelievable bit of carcraft and racecraft from them, really, because to get those cars through there like that takes immense skill. We've got one of the Result Clothing cars round in the background. I think that might be Craig Jones. I'm not quite sure which one it was. He is going down the order, you are right, it's Craig Jones. Yeah, I think he did actually hit someone as well and ended up facing the other way. The car looks alright though. He's trying to reverse it on the track to try and get it out of harm's way. But of course on that corner there's nowhere you can really go. As we look back towards the replay then, Craig Jones out in front. And he just tips it in there. I think he got hit from behind actually. Yeah. Round it went. Yeah, so unfortunate for him there. But we've got 2 more races to go after this for the guys that are watching at home. And I'm sure Mr. Craig Jones will be looking to come back nice and strong for the next ones. As you look back towards the front of the grid then, Luke Cooper currently taking the fight from Dave Hampson. Hampson at the moment, Chaz, up 18 places from the start. So he's our biggest mover and shake at the moment. And I think if he carries on this way, he might even get Luke Cooper. Yeah, he's doing a great job of it, really flying up the order. Luke is going to be victim to the slipstream here as they go into the chase. Round the outside, Hampson has to go the long way, but that's going to put him on the inside for the left-hander at the bottom. Luke Cooper brakes early, and he is really wobbling around there. I think he might have damage on that front end of that car, you know. I'm going to drop the hint to Alex that if we could go on board with Luke Cooper, we may see that the wheel is probably not straight as it goes along, as Brian Holmes is dropping down the order, it seems. Yeah, you can see he's just aiming to the right slightly. Yeah, and it's understeering left, so he's definitely damaged that front end. He's still persevering with it, though. To be fair, he's not actually that far off the pace. I'll say that, though, compared to Hampson in front, he's 1.6 seconds off. But round a track that's as long as Bathurst, that's not too much, to be honest with you, is it?
No, it's not. And fair play to him for persevering with it. You know, we say it's not the persevering with it is the best thing, but he's not losing too much time, as you say, Chaz. And that is a very poorly MX5 to all extents and purposes. It should be pointing straight and true, but it's not. Currently, then your own Urson running in 5th. He was running P2, but he's still on for an AM podium, which is nice for him. As we keep looking a little bit further back down now, Marcelo Pagnon in a fight with Nick McCarron, Cooper, Wright and Holmes. This is going to be an interesting one, isn't it, as they start their final lap. They're coming up towards the hill now. Pagnon leads this pack then, all hard on the brakes.
Oh, there's
Brian Holmes in the middle. There was a bit of contact. We did hear a bit of contact in the background. Pagnon still coming under a fight from McCarron, though. McCarron not letting him get away at all, Chaz. And I think this one here is going to come right down to the wire.
It really is, and it's important for McCarron this as well, because he's in there for the championship. He's 3rd overall in the pro standings as it stands. Not to repeat myself at the moment. Just having a quick look, the points were updated between races. McCarron and McNally are 40 points apart. So looking at it is how it is at the moment. McCarron for 10th would get 78 points for his finish. Just having a look down the order to see where Adam McNally is, and obviously with that incident earlier, he's had an incident of sorts. He's actually 30th at the moment. So what that would mean would be that he'd get 58 points. So that's 20 of them out of the way for Nick McCarron. He just needs to get 20 more than him in the final 2 races of the evening. And he'll be at least on equal terms then. But as we see Jamie Ayres then going down the chase. Easy victory by the look of it for Jamie Ayres. Richard Gafenku's in 2nd place at the moment, 5.5 seconds back from Carl Jacquelet in 3rd. I say that, and Hampson goes up to 3rd, and then back down to 4th again. Hampson 20 places gained. What a drive that's been, Tom. As oh, there you go. That's why he's dropping up and down the order. Sideways on the exit, bit of contact. But Ayres is going to take the victory. Here he is. Great stuff by the Simlad driver. Well-deserved win. It's good to see him back on the top step again, Tom.
It is brilliant stuff. Richard Gafenku as well, coming in P2. Whoa, as Hampson gets right on the grass, right up against the wall for the finish. But yeah, well-deserved win from Jamie Ayres. He was up 7 places from where he started. He had a great drive, held his composure. And what a brilliant drive that was for him. Looking a bit further back, Muse and Mick Barry in the wall, coming towards the end. But got to say it, Chaz, my driver of the race there was Dave Hampson, up 20 places from the start. He had the Excite guys in there with him as well, bit of Swift Cooper Esports. You know, he had Richard Gafenku to deal with as well. So a brilliant drive there from Dave Hampson. I think that's a well-deserved 4th place.
Yeah, it really is. Really well done, especially around Bathurst, because it's just so difficult to overtake here. And it's difficult, like I said before, just a hot lap on your own round here. So he's done a great job. Jamie Ayres then, he's going to be chucking the car about, having a bit of fun with it while he celebrates his race 2 victory. And of course, Nick McCarron actually finished 11th in that race there, so not quite as high up as he would have liked. It was Alan McCain, which is the other MCK that you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. Just in case you get a little bit confused, Jamie Ayres, nice bit of drifting here. He's doing a fine job. His teammate Jarrett McIntyre pulled out of the BSR MX5 Series after last week. He's got commitments elsewhere, and we wish him all the best with those. He's actually on a JRM scholarship, I believe. So he's doing mighty fine for himself, is Mr. McIntyre. So I'm sure that everyone would understand that he'd rather be doing that than this. Look at Jamie Ayres, absolutely chucking it down the mountain. Brilliant stuff. Awesome little switch there from left to right for him. He's going to try it once more.
People say you can't drift in iRacing. Well, there you go.
And now, I believe we're about to see a formation flight here from Jamie Ayres and Richard Gafenku as they cane it down the straight.
They come the US Air Force.
It's the Welsh Air Force for Jamie Ayres, I suppose. Oh, he's on the brakes a little bit. I think he's going to try and follow him. Yeah, that's... Oh, Oh no, Jamie Ayres is actually taking the standard line. Gafenko is going to launch it. And there he goes. As I know exactly what Alex has done here. The order's gone all skew whiff on us on the timing screen, so he's trying to find out who's going up next. Jackalette has not taken the scenic route. Jeroen Ursum, he's going to have seen the first race, and he's going to want in on this. So I'm putting faith in him. He's definitely, yeah, that car's not going the normal route. Let's see how he gets on. On board then, this is, well... And he nearly held it then. He nearly kept it together, did Ursum. And there's other cars about probably doing the same. And there's not much left of it. There's Dave Hampson in the wall. And Jamie Ayres still with a very, very clean car, actually. Tom, even after a lap of drift in Mount Panorama, he's managed to keep all the panels on that straight. Look at it go. Oh, he's overdone it just about.
No, brilliant stuff. That's what we like to see. We got a bit of showboating at the end of the last season, didn't we, as well? And a brilliant burnout there from Jamie Ayres. And are we waiting for someone to finish, Alex, or are we
just watching the donuts?
Oh, happy days!
Enjoying the scenery.
Yes, definitely. So Jamie Ayres then takes a race win for SimLab Racing, a well-deserved win. 5 seconds in the end ahead of Richard Gafenko, who finished P2 and won your AM race. Behind him, Carl Jackalette, who finished P2 in AM and sat P3 overall. Dave Hampson in 4th. Jeroen Ursum, if you're a fan of him, came 3rd in the AM category overall. Came 3rd in the AM category and 5th overall. Alan McCain behind him in 6th. Jack Ashton in 7th, Luke Cooper in 8th, Marcelo Pagnon in 9th, Max Wright in 10th, Nick McCarron in 11th, Brian Holmes finished 12th in the end, behind him Jason Cooper, Roy Ververke in 14th, 15th was Joe McDonald, 16th Kip Stevens, James McRitchie in 17th, Alex Cherney in 18th. Then coming across the line after that was David Ayres in 19th, Benjamin Muse in 20th, Michael Barry 21st, Law Murray 22nd, Steve Hefford 23rd, Rob Graham in 24th, Ashley Beard 25th, 26th was Ryan Walker, Adam Delmont was 27th, 28th was Ralph Cullinan, Carl Hardy finished in 29th, Adam McNally finished 30th in the end. He'll be looking to come back from that a little bit. Craig Jones 31st, and then your non-finishers Billy Rose, Cesare Rizzo, Anthony Ainsworth, Taylor Lane, Pete Van Gool. I believe there was 2 more as well, I think, or was that the grid rounded out? No, Mikey Key as well, so finished in 37th.
Thanks very much, Tom. And for the second time this evening, a Mr. Simpson will possibly have the reverse grid wheel, which Jeroen Ursum has guessed that there will be 15, I believe I saw him say. Yeah, 15.
I love the way on the chat it's like Mystic Meg now as well. Like they're just waiting for his prediction, and they're just like, "Oh no, not 15! Like it's a done deal," you know. So, but let's give it a spin and see what happens. You know, it's gonna be. Come on. Maybe there's some pattern that he's figured out. Where's 15? Oh, it's not far off. You know, it's not gonna make it though. You're wrong. Yay! 40th it is.
Alex,
you're alright, Joe. You're alright, Joe. Nowhere near.
Alex, they're probably the happiest man to ever have not been bribed. And you know what? It's a very interesting grid because that puts Adam McNally on pole position from Carl Hardy for Result Clothing, Ralph Cullinan, Ryan McNally. I'm giving him kids here. Adam McNally's teammates Adam Delmont, Ryan Walker, and Ashley Beard will be 4th, 5th, and 6th as well. So he's got plenty of backup then to stop Nick McCarron making his way through if he does. Bound to be a fantastic final 2 races of the night. Join me, Alex, and Tom on the iRacing Esports Network in about 10-15 minutes' time. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the MX5 Winter Series on Tuesday evenings and the iRacing Esports Network. I am Tom Jacobs. Alongside me is Chaz Draycott with Alex Simpson on the cameras once again. We're here for race 3 of the evening, and it's looking like it's going to be a little bit hotter out there this evening. We've got a nice sunset going down, but it was quite cloudy beforehand. As we look towards the grid then, Adam McNally takes pole position behind him. Carl Hardy, Ralph Cullinan, Adam Delmont and Ryan Walker rounds out the top 5. Ashley Beard in 6th with Rob Graham in 7th. Steve Hefford in 8th. Lorne Murray in 9th. 10th Michael Barry. Benjamin Mears in 11th. 12th David Ayres. 13th Alex Cherney. 14th James Ritchie. Kip Stevens in 15th. Joe McDonald in 16th. Roy Viverke 17th. Jason Cooper in 18th. Brian Holmes in 19th. And then 20th, Nick McCarran. You should be able to see the rest of the guys scrolling through as we're just waiting on one car, I believe Rob Graham, to grid up in P7. And then it should be lights out and away we go. The revs build up then, sorry. The lights all come together. There's a bit of a jump there for Cullinan. I don't know what's happened there, but it's lights out and away they go. Cullinan obviously does lead, but in reality it's Adam McNally, Carl Hardy in P3. And then Adam behind him, Adam Delmont, as they all dive into turn 1, Alex.
Yeah, he needed to. There was a few people that got a jump start there, and he was going to get the penalty anyway, so he might as well go. I see a lot of people check up, and not the way to do it. It causes an absolute nightmare. But yeah, everyone else reasonably clean start. Let's see what this first lap's going to bring us.
Should be good stuff as they all come down towards the hill and come into the second corner. Delmont there having to defend hard from Ryan Walker and Ashley Beard. If I do say so myself, on my chat we have a Mr. Chaz Draycott back. Chaz, are you there?
We do, yeah. Sorry about that, boys. We were having wonderful technical issues there between races. I'll go into that later. Oh, there's contact with the cut-in. That looked like it was Mr. Mick Barry. Great to see Mick back on track tonight. Of course, having some medical issues previously. Great to see him back in the series. Really happy to have him here. But a bit of contact there would have scared him a little bit with McRitchie, the biscuit man himself, as they go flying back down the hill. This looks great in this lighting, doesn't it, boys?
Oh, when we came in, I tell you what, there's a fantastic shot, you know, down the sort of the main straight start-finish line, and yeah, just another example of they just get these skyboxes just looking absolutely awesome these days.
Yeah, they do. I can't believe the jump that we had when we had the major update. And of course, you've got other sims out there, but in my opinion, I think iRacing, not that I'm biased or anything, but I think iRacing has probably got some of their scenery as one of the prettiest out there as they come down the hill now. McNally, though, at the moment, has pulled out a 1.5 second gap over Adam Delmont and Ralph Cullinan. So if he continues to extend that gap, Chaz, it looks like, I know it's an early call, but if he keeps it together and extends that gap, he could be on for the win here.
Yeah, he could be. It's easily doable. Just got to work together and make sure his teammates are there to support him. Steve Hefford, of course, having a good go in there, but Ralph Cullinan doing a great job for Result Clothing at the moment. Ralph's always been pretty quick in these cars, to be fair.
You unfortunately missed the fact that he got a jump start, Chaz. So yeah, he's going to be in sometimes soon, but he's done what I always advise everyone to do, is stay out as long as he possibly can. He didn't come in this lap, so he can use the draft and let the fact that the pack is going to expand out to be able to come rejoin the circuit, perhaps in the middle of that pack, or right at the very back, and at least in contention still. I'm hearing sliding.
Yeah, I know what you mean though in regards to checking up and stuff. It can just be more dangerous sometimes to get out of it too quickly. You don't want to be causing any further issues for people. I mean, if you've got your own issue of things not quite going your way off the start, just got to get on with it. You get the penalty either way, don't you? Just got to keep your foot in and
exactly
floor it, son.
Great. I was about to say, if you go and you can get yourself 10 seconds clear, then you might as well do it, because you're only getting to get like a 20-second penalty. So
absolutely. As we it's all clumping up, boys, isn't it, in the midfield? As Alex gives his expert advice on what to do if you jump the start. Yep. I've done it many times myself, and I'm sure that we all have.
How to minimise penalty by Alex.
Yes, definitely. As the guys all bunch up in the middle, having a look at Cullinan at the moment. He's got Hefford for company. Now Hefford is really storming through the field at the moment. He's up 3 places from where he started for SimLab Racing. He's currently the highest placed SimLab Racing car in the number 72. He's got quite a strange driving style as Steve Hefford, but it does make him one of the fastest out there. He's quite an aggressive guy on the wheel. Seems to push it really hard into corners, Chaz, and his driving style reminds me a lot of Alonso, actually, back in the day in the V10 era. You used to see on boards with him just absolutely, as he hits the wall coming down towards the hill, that's something he doesn't want to be doing, but he throws it into the corner really hard. And then you look at onboards of, say, like Jenson Button, who I'd say was a bit like Luke Cooper, and they're just a lot smoother on the wheel, but it just tends to be what works for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's got their different driving styles and different ways of setting up the car to make up for that, essentially. I mean, we see it a lot in World GT Championship as well, which all 3 of us have raced in. Those GT cars are very sensitive to setups, and these MX5s apparently are as well. I've not got a massive amount of experience changing things on these cars, normally just racing the fixed setup leagues, because I'm absolutely terrible, so I need a bit of a level playing field. But these guys are definitely making the most of their setups, as you see Cullen, and unfortunately now having to go into the pits, which means James McRitchie takes the lead in the AM category then. Runs a little bit wide on the grass just to do that for good measure. But it's the 4 Swift Cooper Esports cars, Tom. Once again, they move in herds and they lead the race in herds at the moment. They're just running away from it, really.
Excite Energy, you mean, I think?
Yes, sorry. I do apologise, boys. I do apologise.
But yes, I see what you're saying. It's Excite do move in herds. Swift Cooper Esports down in 8th, 10th and 11th as well are doing exactly the same. And 13th to Marcelo Pagnon, as we see McNally now up the inside of Delmont as they come into turn 2, back up the hill. And McNally keeping that position, but he's got Walker, Delmont and Ashley Beard for company as well. So it's an all Excite top 4. And I think, Chaz, it's going to be a bit of an Eddie Jordan Spa 98 moment where they can say, you know, we can race, but do we really want the positions? Obviously, the championship in the Pro Series we think is all wrapped up for now, but still they want to get as high as they possibly can, won't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, I think they just want Adam to score as many points as possible. The boys behind can have a great time. It's the end of the season. Delmont, Walker and Beard have all been racing together for quite a while. Yeah, you just got to sort of take the gloves off a bit, have a bit of fun with it, but at the same time, they don't want to knock each other off the circuit, I suppose, or into one of the many walls that there are at Bathurst. And we did have a little chat with them between races earlier, behind the scenes, and they have actually organised a nice little jump of the wall in formation. And I think this would be a perfect occasion if they can get this 1, 2, 3, 4 finish, don't you reckon?
Yeah, it'd be absolutely brilliant for them, wouldn't it? A bit of showboating. We heard a collision in the background there. I'm not sure what that was, but yeah, if they can all run in formation and then jump the wall, that'll make for some absolutely brilliant viewing. As they come down towards the hill, then have a look at Brian Holmes. He's got Cooper for company and Kip Stevens as well, and Cal Hardy. So Brian Holmes dips out of the slipstream of Cooper and he's alongside, side by side. I can't imagine what that's like on board at the moment. Brian Holmes hits the curb quite hard. The car gets all sorts of out of shape and he doesn't get the move done on Cooper there. But Brian Holmes, Chaz, really not letting up on Jason Cooper at the moment. Kip Stevens got himself a little bit ahead now, and that's brought Marcelo Pagnon into play. Pagnon does get the move done on Carl Hardy, and Carl Hardy currently running in P2 in the AM class. James McRitchie running P1, and he's up in 8th place overall, so he's having a brilliant race at the moment, is McRitchie. And what could have been for him in the AM Championship, Chaz, because I think he started quite late on the season, didn't he?
Yeah, you've got to think about the long game really with him. If he would have been here all season, he'd definitely be looking at an AM win. He'd probably be in the pro class by now, as we've hinted at many a time. Just looking at some of these movers though in this race so far, you've got Lorne Murray's just gone up 25 places. Actually, I do apologise. I've obviously, with me having technical issues, I've joined in the session late, so a lot of these guys are actually 26 places up from where they started. There you go, you can see it on the left hand side. I've got Adam Delmont apparently in the lead, 26 places gained, but that's clearly not right. It's Hefford down the inside there as they went into the cut. Look at this battle back here, Tom. You've got David Ayres, he's ahead of Jamie Ayres, Joe McDonald, Nick McCarran, Max Wright, Roy Ververke, Luke Cooper, hell of a scrap going on here. Nick McCarron in the black and orange Sim Lab car on the inside. His teammate Jamie Ayres, race 2 winner, just behind him. Joe McDonald in the red and white car on the left. Well, I'll say that, they're both red and white, aren't they? That's not going to help anybody. As David Ayres slots into second in this gap then. This is a really good scrap. They're all trying to use different lines down the hill, Tom, but there's only really ultimately one way down, isn't there, I suppose?
Yes, and that is as quick as possible without hitting one of the very hard hitting barriers as we've seen so far. As they come down the hill, then this the hardest section, I think, as I've said before, in any form of motorsport. Chaz was alluding towards people saying the corkscrew's the hardest. I don't think it is. I think that right there is. It's the car. You're trying to turn and brake at the same time, and the car's wanting to go one way and you want it to go the other. So it'll be very daunting going down there at speed. I mean, an MX5 I think is bad, but if you're in something like a V8 supercar, I don't even know how they do it. As we look at Lorne Murray now, coming towards the end of the lap. He's got Cherney and Hefford there for company, and Lorne Murray at the moment, Chaz, really holding his own. He's for Automech Knock Hill. They'll be happy, I think, with a P5 if he can keep it there, but we know how quick Cherney is, and we also know how quick Steve Hefford is in the Sim Lab car. But it's I've got to say it, guys, it's been quite a we haven't had too many incidents. I thought it was going to be hell raised round here when I saw that we were coming here, but the guys have been nice and collected. We've had a few offs and things like that, but there's been no major incidents, has there?
No, it's been nice and tame. Really, really good racing for the guys. I think they know it's a daunting circuit, and they know that things can go wrong here. As speaking of, there's some of the guys running wide out of turn 1 there, just at the bottom of the shot. I think that was Lorne Murray himself, and now they're 2 by 2 as they go up the hill. Look at them all trying to fan out to the left-hand side. McRitchie there with Stevens on his left. McRitchie leading the AM category, goes to the right now, which has become our left as they come towards us. 3 wide in the middle, that's Stevens, Lorne Murray and McRitchie. McRitchie wants to stay over to the right, he seems to be coming over to the left a little bit. Are they going to make contact? Place your bets now. Lorne Murray and McRitchie somehow don't make contact. McRitchie nearly puts the shock absorbers through the bonnet, hitting that curb on the inside. And now Stevens has lost out to newly crowned champion Jason Cooper, who comes through the middle and into the cut-in. He's on the inside, Tom.
Yeah, this is blokes racing. This, as I say again, all the guys nice and tightly packed as they go up the hill. And how this hasn't ended in tears, I really don't know.
Oh,
Brian Holmes in the thick of it, and I think there's someone off. I think he. Oh, that's unfortunate for Stevens. Straight into the wall. The car doesn't sound very healthy either, does it? And he's.
I think it was his teammate, you know. I think it was Pannion that just tipped him into a spin. Don't know whether Alex can get us a look back at that, but I'm pretty sure they were close together. And Stevens just, as they both turned in, I think he just came across the front of Pannion. And as you say, Tom, that's all she wrote. So it's real shame for Kip Stevens. Though he's having a good scrap with those boys, but look at just bouncing down this hill. They're absolutely flying. It's great to watch. It's a hell of a spectacle of a circuit. As here you go then. This is the back of the group that we were watching. There is Stevens in the white and pink car. On the inside there, Jason Cooper. Into the cut-in they go. Great to see him going around here without making contact, Tom. But Marcelo Pannion now gets a really good run out of here. Stevens is left to dry on the outside. And Pannion just goes down the inside, and you can just see there, tiny little touch. Stevens' car just goes off the ground slightly, and he goes into the wall on the outside.
Unfortunate for him. That was well, I think that's just racing for you, isn't it? And he probably wouldn't have wanted it to be his teammate, but that's part of racing. As we see the Excite formation out in front then, Delmont, McNally, Walker and Beard all coming home together to start their final lap. And they've just had a fantastic race, haven't they? They've really stuck together. No one really touched them in race 3 so far. And I'm sure if we get one of the guys, normally Adam McNally, on the interview room at the end of the 4th race, I'm sure he'll be delighted to tell us how excited he is to see this come to fruition. As they go diamond formation now for the final time, coming down the hill. Delmont leads, McNally behind him, Walker and then Ashley Beard. Alex Cherney sat down in P5, Chaz. I don't think he's going to have a chance of catching them unless it all ends in tears. So yeah, a brilliant race for them. They've just really held their own, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done everything they need to do. They've not got in each other's way, and they've just moved forward as a team, or as a herd, as we have been saying. But this is just the sort of ideal teamwork that you need to see in this championship. You just need to move forward as a team, keep it all nice and controlled, And this is how you win championships. You can get results like this. It doesn't always go your way. It's not always this easy for them to just get to the front. Of course, they can't always just run away with it. But when you've got the chance, you're going to do it, aren't you? It'll be interesting to see whether Delmont lets McNally back through to try and beat McCarran in the championship here. Nick McCarran is down in 15th at the moment, though, so I think with that in mind, it's going to be quite an easy ride for McNally, unless obviously the reverse grid is quite a big one. I'm looking at you, Euro Nerson. Then McNally might have some work on his hands, but we'll have to look at the points between races and see what the situation is. But yeah, like you say, Tom, these guys are doing a fantastic job so far, and only a couple of corners left to get the job finished.
Yeah, they've just, as I said before, they've really just held their own. I think McNally has put in exceptional effort to get ahead of Nick McCarran. I mean, the team worked hard for him, obviously, but I don't think Delmont is going to let him past. He might do. He might do a Bottas and Hamilton and let him through at the final stages of the race, but it's yet to be seen. As they come down the hill for the final time, then Rev screaming, valves darting off the bonnet as they dive into the chicane. In they turn, and they're still racing out there, aren't they? McNally still all over the back of Delmont. But Delmont might take the win here, and I think he will. Or is he letting off? No, McNally does go through to take the lead. And he's let the whole team through as Delmont. And I think that's for points. Yeah. Adam McNally then takes your race 3 win. Behind him, Ryan Walker, Ashley Beard, and then Adam Delmont in P4. And a brilliant formation win there for Excite Energy. And I think that's the most cars we've ever had in one team at the front, isn't it, Chaz?
I believe so, yeah. Last week the Swift Cooper boys managed to get a 1-2-3. They didn't do a 1-2-3-4 as Nick McCarran there, Adam McNally's championship contender, vitally having a fight there with, I believe, Max Wright to keep his position. Very close to Alan McCain here and Mikey Key. Not quite getting the job done there as Mikey mounts the curb on the exit. Oh, there's a car in the wall there, and I mean in the wall. Not just against the wall. Look and see if we can see it. He is in the wall. I think that's Craig Jones. And I'll tell you what, that is one super cheap auto now, as it's fine. I play for effort. Yeah, oh no. Just and the wall just gets him. I think he got that, didn't he?
We've just lost it like that. Just in myself. I do believe lost if you can hear important for we go sure but yes I'm shortly.
Not sure whether you can hear me again, boys, but the age of dial-up hits us, as the stream says. Not sure whether you can hear me though.
We can now. Yep.
There we go. We have clarity once again. I do apologise for that.
Ish.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be my night for technical issues. As the XIG Sports guys line up in formation. Down the straight they go. And here comes the jump. There you go, ladies and gents. Excited esports. Fantastic stuff. Oh, ultimately, massive accident there. Not really sure how they how they're going to look back at that, but that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
No.
disconnected. Microphone muted. User entered your channel.
There we go.
Which is, yeah,
Yep.
I've got you now.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, so yeah, apologies for that, everybody. I can hear a Mr. Jacobs in the background somewhere, I think.
Oh well, we'll just push on. We'll try and fix this during the break. I would say probably the best bet.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, we'll join you back on the iRacing Esports Network.
Yeah, we've got the wheel to do, and we've got the results to do. You're
Apologies.
getting all ahead of yourself now, Chaz.
Yeah. Getting excited, you see, for this third one. So, looking at the results then, Adam McNally and the Excite Energy Esports boys take a 1-2-3-4. Ryan Walker, Ashley Bird and Adam Delmont behind them there. Alex Cherney and Jason Cooper still representing Swift Cooper Esports, though, in 5th and 6th. Brian Holmes, another Excite Energy Esports car, in 7th. James McRitchie wins the AM category, with Steve Hefford 9th, Lorne Murray 10th and Dave Hampson 11th. Carl Hardy is 12th, Marcelo Panion 13th. Jamie Ayres is 14th, with Nick McCarron 15th, Max Wright 16th, Luke Cooper 17th and David Ayres rounds out your AM category podium.
User entered your channel.
And behind them, we have the... I'm just trying to have a look, actually. It's gone a bit skew-whiff on my screen here. I do apologise. Roy Viverke is 19th. Behind him in 20th position is Carl Jacquelet. 21st is Joe McDonald. 22nd, Jeroen Ursum. 23rd behind him was Alan McCain. 24th position went to Mikey Key. 25th was Billy Rose. Kip Stevens was 26th. Rob Graham in 27th. Then it was Peter Van Gool, Craig Jones and Ralph Cullen rounding out your top 30. Anthony Ainsworth, Mick Barry and Jack Ashton were the last cars on the lead lap. Then it was the likes of Richard Kafenku, Cesare Rizzo 3 laps down. Benjamin Mears was 5 laps down in 36th place. And I believe he was the last of the cars that was running in that one. Can't see anyone that was 37th on there. So that means then for the third and actually the final time for tonight, we will be doing the reverse grid wheel, Alex.
Indeed we will. Right. Oh. Give it a spin. I didn't. Did we see a bet?
20.
I guess.
Oh, I think someone said 25. I think your own said 25. He did, yeah. Yeah, your own has guessed 25. There's actually someone else has joined in the chat as well, and their guess in this one has been 30. So we'll see who's going to be correct, or whether Mystic Meg, as you say, Alex, will be correct on this one.
Well, I'm afraid he's not. It was 45.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so a little way out. Nowhere near the segment either this time. So yeah, no one's going to be getting their lottery tickets from your own. It would appear this week.
Jack Ashton then takes pole position for the final race of the night, with Mick Barry alongside him on the front row. They're joined with Anthony Ainsworth and Ralph Cullen on row 2, and Craig Jones will be 5th on the grid. So if you join me, Alex and Tom on the iRacing Esports Network in about 10-15 minutes time, we'll have the 4th and final race of the night for you. Don't go away.
To prove it, I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this, show you what the truth is. I step on the field, it's time to get real, I'm feeling so ruthless. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Yeah, so what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. Get in the game, your moment of fame, show them what you made of. It's time that we stand up, it's time that we man up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up. My time, nothing can keep me from reaching the top. This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to throw down, it's time for the showdown. I'm ready to rise, don't be surprised, I'll take on the world now. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My town, my crown, we know what it takes to be reaching the top. We're reaching the top, we're reaching the top. We know what it takes to be reaching the top. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My town, my crown, we know what it takes to be reaching the top. We're reaching the top, we're reaching the top. We know what it takes to be reaching the top. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up, I'm never going back down. Hand over my heart, I do this for my town, I do this for for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the BSR MX5 Winter Series final round of the championship now for you. We do apologise, just missed the start then. We've just been sorting out the audio issues that we've been having, and it is currently Jack Ashton leading the way from Anthony Ainsworth and this massive train of MX5s here. And Chaz Draycott here alongside Tom Jacobs with Alex Simpson on the cameras. And Tom, once again we've got a fantastic night race on the go, but round Bathurst, that's a completely different story to any ones we've seen before.
Yeah, I can imagine it's quite scary for the guys doing this at Bathurst. It's not something that I'd want to attempt, in all honesty. Obviously at night you lose your braking points, etc, etc, and I think, Chaz, that's going to be hardest for Jack Ashton, as we see a lot of guys, Pete Van Gool, Rob Graham, falling down the order on the timing screens. But yeah, I think it's going to be most difficult now for Jack Ashton, because he hasn't obviously got anyone to follow, so he won't be the easiest to pick out his braking points.
No, definitely not. And flying down this hill now, down through Skyline, scary enough in the daytime, never mind in the dark. We've got Roy Visser saying, whispering to us about the music apparently. Don't know whether the music's still on, Alex, but he's making us aware whether it's...
No, I appreciate that as well. Sorry about that. Yeah, just a bit manic trying to get everything sorted. Of course, the music was in the background from the thing. So yeah, thank you very much for that, and yeah, apologies for that.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. The tune that we all know and love, though, after a broadcast, we do all go to bed humming it and singing it. Alex Journey in the background there, making a move. That's going to be on Carl Hardy as they go towards the chase. Nick McCarron and Steve Hefford there. Just going to have a quick look at the championship situation between Adam McNally and Nick McCarron. They are still in the hunt for second and third. There's 55 points between them now. So McNally is the beneficiary of that. It's 55 points ahead. It looks like the AM Championship has been wrapped up as well. Roy Viverke is... Oh, Anthony Ainsworth nearly wraps up his race there. Tom going over the grass out of the last corner. Oh, and in the wall in the background. Is that Mick Barry?
Yeah, it is Mick Barry.
It is. He's copied his teammate Craig Jones did earlier.
He is indeed, isn't he? Unfortunate for him, there's more carnage down at the back as well. Oh, we've got all sorts. Is that Dave Hampson involved in that? Which, not quite sure.
I think
Lost number 9 as well. Max Wright was there on the outside, wasn't he? So everyone getting into all sorts of argy-bargy at the moment. And that's not what they would have wanted, but we said it would happen, Chaz, with a night race. And of course, it's a lot harder at night to see your braking points as well. And you've got headlights dazzling behind you and you're trying to follow people. And we saw that last night, didn't we, with the World GT practice and things. It makes for a lot more difficult racing, but also makes for quite exciting racing as well. And it does also makes the sim look incredibly pretty as they all come up the hill then. And round themselves round quite nicely. There's been no major incidents. We've had a few guys in the wall so far. Anthony Ainsworth still holding his own from Craig Jones and Kip Stevens and Ralph Cullinan. Anthony Ainsworth currently running in P2 with what I think, Chaz, is one of the prettiest cars out there at the moment. As we look towards Jack Ashton, who is very, very lonely at the front, 5.4 seconds already out in front, and he's not even on his second lap, Chaz. Not even on his second lap, Chaz.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly this is flying by. For the rest of the night, anyway, it's gone past us so quickly, but now this is taking its time. Ainsworth then turns it in. There he goes. I think we are actually on the second lap, you know. I think it's we've obviously had our technical issues, and then when how this works is when Alex has joined the session. I think the first lap had started. I don't know if you can correct me there, Alex.
I think that's right. Yeah, exactly.
So apologies, but it's been a wonderful evening in technical difficulties. Let's blame the fact that we're in Australia. Anthony Ainsworth and Kip Stevens, then the meme machine himself. And there's another battle in the background with Ainsworth's teammate Jack Collette. Side by side with Alan McCain. Into the chase, down the inside. Nicely done. Billy Rose is there behind them. We've got to keep our eye on Billy. He said he's going to jump that fence at some point tonight. And hopefully it will be after this race.
Did do it in the last one, actually, when Discord decided to give up the ghost.
Oh, well, there we go.
We did manage to see it on the stream.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much, Billy. We look forward to seeing it again. But like you say, Tom, it's quite dazzling to see all this. The liveries really pop in the dark. Panion, fastest lap of the race, but there's a really good spread in this one, actually. There's a lot of battles going on all over the place.
Yeah, there is. And that's why we've come to love this series. and even with this coming towards the end of the season here, it's we're still looking forward to the next one. But look at all these guys coming up the hill now, and there's just the length of pretty much the length of the straight. There's cars everywhere you look. As we look at Joe McDonald there, who's just in a fierce cauldron of MX5s, isn't he? McNally darting left and right behind them to try and get past. Can't seem to get it done. I think that was that McDonald's going wide there? No, it wasn't.
Hardy.
Yeah, it was Hardy going wide there. Sorry, they change teams and liveries so often it's quite difficult to keep up sometimes. But yeah, as we say, it makes it quite difficult racing at night, but it also makes it incredibly pretty as well. I'm sure all the guys here at the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV, I hope you've all had an enjoyable evening as well with the 4 races. They've brought us some fantastic excitement, and we look forward to the next one, don't we, guys?
Yeah, definitely. It's always good fun to do, and these guys put on a hell of a show for us. I'm actually involved in some of the little tweaks that they're going to be doing between seasons, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming our way. So make sure you stick around on the iRacing Esports Network, and hopefully these guys have got everything applied for it anyway to be on there for next season. It's into the wall. That's Luke Cooper. That was a big hit there. Probably
He
the
just
biggest
took
hit we've
him
seen
way
tonight.
too much speed, didn't he there, Chaz? Sorry, I had to say something as I couldn't restrain myself. That's takes
No,
Three to
Rose
one,
and
does it
Billy
go?
Rose. No, it's Rose. He's not going to make the jump. Jason Cooper, champion, is in the wall as well. Billy Rose back across the track into McDonald. He's taken out both of those cars. I say taken out, obviously, he didn't really mean to do that, let's face it. And just for added insult to injury, there's the Adam McNally. One of the Automech cars is on its roof as well. That was just massive. I'm going to have a look back at what we'll call that. There's Billy Rose scoring an absolute goal. I don't know how Lord Murray got through that there in the 55 Automech car, but Ben Mears is on his roll cage testing its integrity as the sparks go flying. But, well, we said earlier, Tom, there's been no massive accidents, but it's happened.
Yeah, race 4 never fails, does it? We've seen it so many times in the dark. I think because it's going. We've got a car round as well. That's Verke. Yeah, round in the background. Yeah, just managed. I think he just put one wheel on the grass, and now it's facing the other way. But it seems to have got it going again. But yeah, we say race 4 never fails to excite, does it? Cullinan now coming under pressure from Anthony Ainsworth. It looks like that was McCain going through. Sorry, Alan McCain goes through, gets the move done, and it's quite an exciting race. This everyone's just sort of jumbled up in a spaghetti monster of cars all going up and down. Anthony Ainsworth hits the wall. Then, unfortunate for him, he was running so well, wasn't he? And that looks to be a very poorly MX5, Chaz.
If I could tell you in words how much that made me jump, I would, but I genuinely nearly ended up in my bathroom then when that hit the wall. That scared the living daylights out of me, that. But we look forward to Craig Jones then, third, and he's defending from Carl Jacquelet in the AM category, Ainsworth's teammate who we just saw then. And it's been a very attritional race for championship leaders here, Tom, because obviously we lost Jason Cooper and Adam McNally in that one. And then we saw obviously Verke the other way around as well, so lucky for them boys that it wasn't really championship dependent, the results in this one.
Yeah, lucky for them, as you say. I don't think that's the way they would have wanted to see out the season, but they've got it all wrapped up anyway. But yeah, all the main guys falling off right at the very end. It's looking at Dave Hampson then. He's been thereabouts all evening, hasn't he? Chasing down Cherney. Starts out the slipstream. Cherney's got the outside line. Hampson's got the inside as they come towards the kink. And they're chasing down Jamie Ayres as well. Ayres and Ayres in front. Double air drive. And down the hill they go. Oh, it's all late on the brakes for everybody. Tipping it in. And Jamie Ayres nearly makes contact with the other Ayres on the grid. And then Hampson's making contact with Cherney as well, and it's all getting a bit argy-bargy. Delmont in there as well. We've got McRitchie in there, and it looks like Hampson's got damage, Chaz.
Yeah, he's had an issue there, hasn't he? I think that contact has hurt him. He's going in the wall there, nicely saved. But wow, what a cross-up that was between those boys. They were all over the place then. That was amazing. Awesome driving for them all to keep it on track. Cherney got a little bit of a nudge from Hampson, and somehow you just saw the opposite lot go flying on, and he didn't go the other way. Great shot there as they go up the straight. Headlights ablaze. We've seen some awesome racing from these boys tonight. It's really highlighted the season and just how much fun these guys can have out on track. And once again, it brings up the point that the MX5, while it may not be the most exciting and 800 million horsepower and loads of aero on it, it's just a great little car to drive. I mean, I was in just a little private session the other day, just chucking it round Alton Park with 2 or 3 others, and we're having a whale of a time. It's a brilliant bit of kit. So if you haven't driven the MX5, you do have the iRacing service, give it a go. I mean, most people have driven it, but get in some competitive racing like this and you'll have an absolutely wonderful time in it.
Yeah, you definitely will. It is, I think it's just one of my go-to cars. I think as well, when iRacing goes down, they do maintenance and you can go on the test drive. The MX5 is always one that I end up chucking around the Nürburgring for an hour or two. It's just great fun, isn't it? You don't, as Chaz says, you don't need all that power all of the time, just to have fun within the sim. You watch McCain now coming down the scariest part of the circuit. He's got Jones and Cullinan for company as well. Ahead of him, Panion, who came into the series this season and set the world alight, didn't he, Chaz? We saw him. I think the first race we saw him was possibly Suzuka, and then from there it's just gone on, and he's just been absolutely fantastic, isn't he? And I cannot wait to see that boy next season and see what he can do against the front runners.
Definitely. It's going to be an absolute belter to see how he gets on. I believe, though, because this does say lap 5 out of 6, we may be on the last lap now, actually, boys. Which will mean that Jack Ashton, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be, so we never know. We'll just keep an eye on him and see whether he takes the checkered flag. We'll have to have a look in the actual in the sim, see what happens here. Although I do have it showing as lap 5, you know. I think we may have only just missed the start.
I think it has corrected itself. White flag comes out.
There we go. So final lap for these guys then. Jack Ashton has got a very comfortable lead, Tom. He's making it look quite easy out there, as they did earlier.
Yeah, he is. He's Kip Stevens isn't really troubling him too much, is he? He has reined him in a little bit. The gap at the end of lap 1 or lap 2, whichever lap it was about 5.4 seconds. And Kip Stevens has got that down to 3.4, but I think Ashton's not having to push as hard as he would normally have to, is he? He's still obviously got quite a bit of pace in, but now it's just get the car home, don't make any silly mistakes. Looking a bit further back, it's Panion and McCain once again. McCain really piling the pressure onto Panion, coming into turn 2 for the final time and back up the hill. As we, someone going very wide in the background there, not sure who that was. We look back at Delmont as well, a nice battle going on there. If we look at the AM race though, Craig Jones currently leading, behind him Carl Jacquelet, and they're P5 and P8 overall respectively, and then you've got James McRitchie in P3 and AM, and he is 12th overall. So it just goes to show, Chaz, that the AM guys really can mix it with the pros most of the time and pretty much stay there with them.
Yeah, we see quite a lot of surprise performances by some of these AM drivers sometimes. Obviously it's not a complete foolproof way of saying that they're quicker than others or slower than others, but you can see there the difference in the Pro and Am lap times at the top there. The best laps set by drivers in that category, so 2:31.4 for Pro and 2 minutes 32.9 for Am, so not a massive spread really in terms of the quickest lap times. Obviously if you went from quickest to slowest it might be a bit more, but yeah, like you say, Tom, they do mix it with the big boys in the Pro class a lot of the time, and it's good fun to watch, because at the end of the day, if everyone was on the same sort of level of talent in the same car on the same setup, then it doesn't always make for the best racing. But when you've got such a level playing field like these guys, and so much in terms of a spread of talent, then yeah, it's great to see, because it does make the racing closer and more exciting.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why we have the Pro and Am Championships as well. So that sometimes, you know, the AM guys can let the Pro guys go, and the Pro guys won't get so involved with the AM guys. But we've seen it as we progressed through this season, that the AM guys really will stick it to the Pro boys as much as the Pro boys will give it back. So it really is anyone's to play for. Even with these overall race wins, the AM guys can still do it. But there is Jack Ashton, Excite Energy Esports, another win for that team this evening. And a very well-deserved win for him as well. Drove absolutely impeccably. as we see Alan McCain in the wall then, as they come across the line. I think he's got away with it. He manages to bring it home in P4. There's Jacqueline with Ayres and Delmont, McRitchie, all coming across the line for the final time. Craig Jones, though, Chaz, takes your AM win as well. And then Jack Ashton takes your pro win. And it was a bit of argy-bargy out there, wasn't it? But I think race 4 provided some great excitement.
Yeah, definitely another great race to finish out the night and to finish out the championship as well. As we see some of the other guys coming across the line now. Carl Hardy crossing the line in 18th place. And suddenly disappears and comes back again. There you go. But yeah, it's nice to round out the series with such a sort of strong race. Great performance by Ashton as well. He'll be very, very happy with that, and so will his teammates at Excite Energy Esports.
Yeah, they will, and I'm sure we'll hear from Adam McNally after this, and he can tell us all about it and how the team is feeling. We'll do the Louise Goodman in 2003 and interview all the drivers as they come back towards the pit lane. You see Luke Cooper crossing the line now, and I think he might be the last person to do so.
There he goes then. We saw him have that big hit against the wall earlier, and it's not the only time he's hit the wall tonight, Tom, and damaged the car, so he did well to persist, as we said, and keep it going, and luckily he doesn't hit that wall there at the end, but he gets out of that car as soon as he can. And that rounds out the season, the BSR MX5 Winter Series. It's been great to do it, as always, and for the final time this season, Tom, the results are all yours.
Jack Ashton takes your win then for the final time in this season. Behind him, Kip Stevens and Marcelo Pagnon. So an Excite, Swift Cooper and Swift Cooper 1, 2, 3. Alan McCain finishes in P4. Alex Cherney P5. Your AM race winner Craig Jones overall finished P6. Behind him, Ralph Cullinan finished P2 in AM and P7 overall. Dave Hefford P8. Dave Hampson P9. Jamie Ayres in P10. Carl Jacqueline rounds out the AM podium in P11 overall. Adam Delmont P12, 13th was James McRitchie, 14th Nick McCarron, Lorne Murray in 15th, Ryan Walker in 16th, Roy Ververke in 17th, 18th was Carl Hardy for Result Clothing, 19th was Jeroen Ursum, 20th Pete Van Gool, Mikey Key in 21st, Rob Graham in 22nd, 23rd was Max Wright, 24th Luke Cooper, 25th was David Ayres. And then I believe your non-finishers, Anthony Ainsworth, Jason Cooper, Ashley Beard, Alan McNally, Benjamin Mears, Joe McDonald, Brian Holmes, Billy Rose, Cesaro Rizzo and Michael Barry.
Thank you very much, Tom. Much appreciated. We've had a couple of guys join into the TeamSpeak server, which we're on as well, for interviews. So what we'll do, or what Alex will do, I hope, because we do not have permissions in this server, apparently, is drag in one of the two Excite Energy Sports guys.
Well, let's do this. Hold on a minute.
There we go. Back into a different room now, so we can get away from everybody. There you go. And then what we'll do is we'll bring them in. We've got a couple of Excite Energy Sports guys in the interview room just waiting to speak to us. We always speak to Adam McNally, so we should probably bring him in and see how he feels. Obviously finished second in the championship overall. Here he is now. Adam, very sort of exciting night for that, really, pardon the pun. You managed to secure second in the championship though, mate. Well done.
I'm hoping so. I don't think the points have been updated for that last one. I got caught out in that incident, so I really haven't got a clue at the minute. It's in the balance for teams as well. I mean, we had 3 drivers and I finished that last race.
We'll have to keep our eye out then. I thought it was all done and dusted. I do apologise.
So did we.
I do apologise. Well, to be fair, I've got the rules sheet up in front of me, so it depends where you were classified in that one.
I didn't finish.
So you wouldn't have got any points at all, would you?
No.
Right, okay. So it all hangs in the balance then. We're literally doing this live as we go.
I'm watching the score sheet.
Nick McCarron, where did Nick McCarron finish? He finished in 14th place. Now he was 50. Oh, I'm just trying to do the maths now. 55 points behind you in the championship, and I'm going to be the bearer of bad news here, Adam.
Yeah, I've lost it.
Yeah, McCarron finishes 14th, so that gives him 74 points. So he does actually take the second, I'm afraid, mate. I'm really sorry.
Someone else's stupid mistake.
Dude, it's horrible to get caught up in incidents like that, but it's part of what we do, I suppose, isn't it, mate?
That's it, it happens.
But still, great results for you boys overall on the night, though. I mean, it was a hell of a performance in that that third race to take a 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it was great. Worked great together. Shame, like, Delmont should have really had the win, but with being a reserve driver, he sacrificed it just so we could get them extra few points. But
Yeah, it was
the
nice
win
to
should
see.
have really have been his, so I'd like to say thank you to him for that.
It was good to see the sportsmanship from him as well, and obviously we've not seen him in all of the races this season, so it's nice that, of course, he did get involved in that as well and played a great part in the team. You boys looking forward to a good challenge for next season then?
Can't wait for the new season to start. It's going to be epic. 36-week-long battle should be proper good fun. But I'd like to just say well done to Jason Cooper and Nick McCarron, obviously for the podiums, for winning the championship. See what happens with the points. And well done to Swift Cooper and Tim Lab as well on the podiums and the teams.
It's been amazing to watch you boys fighting against each other all season. Every single broadcast we've been saying just what sort of powerhouses of this series you guys are. No matter what you do in qualifying in a race, there's always loads of you boys in the top 10. Obviously, in terms of drivers then for next season, I'm going to try and sort of poke you a little bit with this here and see what sort of info we can get out of you. Do you have any sort of changes to the lineup, or are you retaining who you've already got?
It'll be pretty much exactly the same drivers as we've got. So hopefully we can keep this challenge strong, ready for the full season. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be one epic battle, 36 weeks long.
Really will be, really will. Well, we've obviously just had a bit of a technical difficulty sort of evening, if I'm honest with you, Adam. It's been a bit all over the place, but it wouldn't be the world of broadcasting and sim racing if it didn't go that way sometimes, I suppose. Before we let you go then, mate, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our drivers at Excite. I'd like to say thank you for racing with us and putting on a great show throughout the season. Especially after we had a terrible start to the season, to be honest with you. And the finish where we finished, we can take credit from that, I think. So, thank you to the lads. Thank you to Excite Energy for jumping on board with us. Racing Mentor, Brio Premature Baby Foundation, Motorsport Days Live. You guys for doing a great broadcast every week. Love watching it. And all the lads who do all the work behind the BSR as well.
Well, thanks very much, Adam. Pleasure to speak to you as always, mate. And I'm sure in the new season we'll pretty much have you in every single week as we normally do, won't we?
Oh,
got to make it.
I couldn't not come in. It's good that I couldn't do the jump in that last race.
Well, yeah, we were saying that because we actually had a little bit of a deal with Billy Rose before it even started that he was going to do the jump at the end.
Yeah.
He got one of them in though, so we didn't do too badly. But
End up trying to finish the race like I was on a bucking bronco. Felt awful in VR. Felt like I was getting seasick.
And for any of you that haven't ever experienced a Geordie accent, then he said bucking with a B for Bravo. Anyway, thanks very much for your time, Adam. We will speak to you again very soon, mate.
Thank you very much.
Adam McNally there, always great to speak to after a race event. We pretty much speak to him every week now, Tom, don't we? He's becoming proper regular.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's a regular of the interview room, and that's what we love about him. So I'm sure we'll see him next time out. Absolutely loving life and taking Excite to the top again.
Certainly is. So you've got your pick now between a Mr. Ashley Beard and a Mr. Ryan Walker. We've not spoke to Ash for quite a while, though, to be fair, so I reckon he's probably a good shout to bring in. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll go with Ash.
There he is then. He's all yours, mate. There you go.
Mr. Ashley Beard joins us in the interview room then. Ash, looks like you guys had a pretty exciting evening out there. How was it from your perspective?
Well, first few races I think went pretty well. I mean, especially highlight probably the 1, 2, 3, 4 that we had in race 3, where I think we just wanted to get the points and nail it down. Race 3, but race 4's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, we could see from race 4 a lot of you guys didn't finish, did they? Do you think it was the nighttime conditions that caused that, or?
No, I think it was just the accident. It was just a chain reaction. I mean, they had an accident into the right-hand side wall, and then it came back across the track. And as we were all trying to avoid it, it came back our way. A bit like trying to avoid.
Unfortunate for you guys, but it is the end of the season, so I think you'll. Are you looking forward to the next season starting? And will you be back?
For definite, yeah. I think saying it's our first season as a team, we've gelled quite nicely. So who knows what's going to bring up the next season, really.
I'm sure you guys will be taking the fight to Swift Cooper Esports as you always do. But just before we let you go, Ash, and a brilliant night's racing for you, and we wish you the best of luck. But is there anyone you'd like to thank before you go?
Well, I'd like to thank the whole team. I mean, we've really brilliant season, and thank you for them. Thank you for our sponsors as well. Excite have been brilliant with us, like allowing us to have their logos on our cars have been amazing. I mean, with Ollie and the rest of the team, absolutely fantastic. And thank you for you guys as well for putting the streams up for us.
No worries, Ashley. Well, we look forward to seeing you next season, mate. We wish you all the best of luck, and you can hang your race boots up for a bit, and then we'll see you next time round. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Always good to speak to Ashley there. Of course, that will, to be fair, I think we're running out of time, really, aren't we, boys? It's 22:11 here. Alex will probably have a call on that, to be fair. But just to sort of highlight to everyone, it's been fantastic to do this for you on the iRacing Esports Network this season. It's been awesome working with you, Tom, and with you, Alex, as always. Awesome camera work. It's been great to get this all organised and together. We hope that you've enjoyed watching it. Just from you, boys, any sort of last thoughts before we head into next season with these guys?
No, not really. I'm just another great season. I think I mentioned this sort of midway through the season as well. The championship just keeps going strength to strength. What was just a little fun thing to do for BSR on the Tuesdays to break away from the BSR TC has turned into its own fully fledged, series, and the fact that they're about to mimic the BSR TC with the whole year-long championship and showdown and everything at the end, it's going to be great.
Yeah, for myself personally, I think it's just been brilliant, isn't it? Just echoing what Alex has just said there, with it all going into the BSR TC way of doing things. It's yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward, but just thanks to you guys as well. It's been a brilliant season. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been nice to be sat in the commentary booth with you, and we've had a few laughs and talked about fruits a bit too much. But no, it's been brilliant. So thanks to you guys as well.
Yeah, it's been a proper pleasure this season, really has been. We hope you've enjoyed it at home as well, and we'll be sure to be back to provide you with just as much entertainment for next season. So from me and Alex and Tom, we wish you a very good evening, and we'll see you next time round. Thanks very much.